Hi, and welcome to the Midlife Purpose Show, where women 40 and over tap into their true calling and step into the career that's aligned with their purpose to create the fulfilling life they desire. Hello, and I'm Yannick Said, your host. I'm a life coach who specializes to working with women in midlife who are navigating life transitions. I have throughout my life faced many changes from downsizing, layoff, and career pivoting more than once. So I'm very well placed to help women navigate this realm in their life, as well as having to start my life over again. And so I've learned to be resilient and how to go through the different life transitions that women face. So let me ask you, are you feeling that your workplace, that there are imminent change in the air? Is it palpable? Or are you worried that maybe there's a reorganization and fear that you might be found surplus and have to find something else to do? But this is the topic of our talk today, how to navigate and how to overcome the fear when facing possible uh, layoff. It's my first question, and I'll give you some tips to make you more aware and also feeling that you have options, that it is not an end to your career, and also to be proactive because it might not be happening now, but to know what to do in the face of this eventuality and the unknown, having a plan makes the world of difference. So the first thing would be to assess your current situation, assess professionally in your career and financially. So the financial checkup, knowing where you stand makes a world of difference. Sometimes we are better off than we are, or vice versa. So review what are you having your savings, if you have savings, your retirement accounts, and other assets. And when I talk about a lot of times people say, I don't have any assets. Often we are not aware or minimize what we have or not realizing that something in our life is an asset. So it's a good time for you to make an inventory. This way, if you know where you stand, it's a lot easier to know what step to take and plan wisely. Now, when it comes to career assessment, look at the skills that you have gained over all these years of experience and your accomplishment. Make a tally sheet, make an inventory, because then you have a full, wholesome picture of what you have and what you have to offer and what you can redirect in another field, another area. Know what transferable skills you have from the experience that you've gained that you can apply to other career opportunities when they present themselves. Or if you seek, you might see, oh, I could use this in this field, whatever. But you need to know what you already have. Because in the routine and doing the day by day task, we don't always appreciate how much we have. And also know the gaps. For example, you might think, I would like, if something were to happen, I would like to go in this field. However, I'm missing this or that. Well, knowing that you're missing, that there's a gap to fill, it gives you an opportunity to fill it and not feeling, oh, I should have done this. If I had that, I could have applied for this job or I could change my field of employment. So we have much more control when we have a clear idea of what we have, what's missing. It's a lot easier to plan and know what step ahead we need to take. Next one, very important, and you've heard me talk about it many, many times before. It's to develop a growth mindset over fear. All right. And I'm speaking from experience. I'll tell you my story quickly. At the time, one of the last, I've gone through downsizing more than once, but it was the first time I was a young woman, straight out of university, had not been in the workplace very long, so I didn't see it coming. I was in shock. I was depressed. I didn't know what to do. But luckily, got back on my feet. The economic times at the time made it easier, quite easy to find a position. So I was not unemployed very long. The second time it happened, I was a bit older, in my late 30s, and I kind of sensed it, but I wasn't too sure. So when it happened, I still had the shock, but I was not surprised. So I was able to recover a bit easier, more easily, I should say. But I still was not prepared. The third time, while I was working in human resources, and I could see the writing on the wall because I could see the change in the organization. We were given information, and I was part of the team that were assessing employees to see who we were retaining or not. And then I saw that I was getting less and less work, cricket, cricket. And then the two regions were merged together. I went, okay, I know what's happening. We were the smaller region, we were being absorbed. So I thought, if this happens, this is the opportunity for me to go back and pursue my graduate studies that had started a few years back, and I had to put it on hold. And I was right. But luckily, or maybe unluckily, I was offered another position in a different field, and the same, actually, in a sector where I already had expertise, and I was able to use skills that I've used in the past at a different level. Unfortunately, I had to I had registered um, to study full time and work full time. So I did manage. It was quite challenging. I don't recommend it, but I was prepared in case I was let go that pursue those studies because I knew it was going to leverage me in pursuing a different career, which it did. I ended up doing something else later on and leaving in my current position on my terms because I had finished my graduate studies and I've changed fields. So knowing that it's to focus on possibilities versus the fear because it's so easy to fall um, into the state of fear and being paralyzed. So it's also a chance to see how to focus and reinventing ourselves. So the growth mindset, we are here, and like I said, if you know what you have, you can see this as an opportunity to reinvent yourself instead of feeling the sense of fear and loss and get stuck there. You might feel it. It's a legitimate feeling, but you don't want to be delving and getting stuck in that space. And now, this was a segue to the next step is to invest in lifelong learning. Look at what would interest you in doing. Remember, I talked about a gap. See what's out there. What are the trends in your industry? If you plan to stay in the same industry, bring yourself up to date. What are the trends? Be in the know. So you know, again, what it is that you're missing, where that field, this industry is going. You're better prepared because you will have a better sense of what opportunities lay for you if you were to lose the current position. And also, uh, skill enhancement, and also to network with intention. go to network with individuals who are in the industry that you want to go to. Talk to people who are in that industry so you have a better sense of what it is all about and also making connections. As you know, networking is a bloodline. It's we cannot do things by ourselves. Knowing who's out there, what is out there, who to contact to get advice is a very crucial part of making plans for a change of direction. Next was, like I was mentioning before, we cannot do everything by ourselves. Seek professional guidance. So we talked about the financial side of things. So you make an inventory of what you have and the gaps, know your situation. So seek the advice of a financial counselor who can guide you and help you make adjustment if you need to, give you some direction on what to do depending on what your plan is on the financial side. On the professional side, seek the help of a career coach or a mentor in that field, career counselor to help you get a clearer idea. You might have an idea, but they can come and guide you, give you some advice on the best steps moving forward. You do not have to try to figure it out all by yourself because it can be overwhelming and it's understandable. But remember that it is not something that you need to do by yourself. And talking about on the financial side, it's a good opportunity to see how you could diversify your income. You could think of a side gig to undertake using some of the skill sets that you have, something that interests you, and make it an entrepreneur and become an entrepreneur even as a side gig to start with. Or you could look at becoming a consultant in your specialty, depending on what you do. You could do this as a sidebar, while you're working and trying to figure out um, what you want to do next or planning what you're going to do next. It's something to consider to diversify your source of income, have different stream of income. So consulting is one option you could look at, or many things. So it's for you to decide. And like I said, once you know what you have in your bag of skills and competencies and interests, it's easier to forge the way ahead and make a plan. And part of the plan could be that you have a side gig. And more importantly, leverage your experience. Because often when we find ourselves at this stage in our life, mid-career, with all this experience behind us, often we don't see the asset that it is. We might think that, oh my gosh, I have so many years of experience. Is it still valuable? Not appreciating what you have as a gift and seeing it more as a deficit. Don't do that. Leverage all of the experience that you've gained, whether it's in the workplace. And sometimes we gain a valuable experience through a volunteer work. So there again, make an inventory of all the experience you have and leverage it. It is a great asset. So be aware of it. Take some time and see all that you have accumulated because when we're busy doing what we do, we don't always appreciate all that we have, all that we do. And once we start to unpack okay, I'm doing this, but because I'm doing this, all this is attached to it. So leverage that experience. Build a support network. I've said this before, and I'm saying it again. We cannot do everything by ourselves. We always say, well, I can't do it myself. We want to be independent. Yes, but there's nothing wrong by seeking support when we need to. Having other perspective. For example, to connect with people who are supportive of you and understand your journey, and they can give you some pointers. You can take their pointers or not. It's your decision. But at least when you get new perspective, it really gives you a bit more confidence because you're looking at options and start tying things together. And it can be sometimes just emotional support. You can have somebody to bounce things from too. And it could be practical support. They might give you some tips on how to be more efficient on what you're doing or more efficient in how you want to undertake that journey to change where you are getting ready to make that transition, to step into this new realm. And to do this, seek mentors, whether it's in your actual workplace or in the field where you want to be. You can have a mentor or seeking a coach who can help you by giving you new perspective and clarity on where you want to go. And that is it's crucial, especially in a time of uncertainty, because often all of us, we have moments when we have self-doubt, we're not certain, and having someone else, pointing out certain things that we might not even be aware of, or just an encouragement saying, you've got this, look what you have this, 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 this. Of course you can do it. What about doing it this way? What about doing that? All right. So sometimes we are so stuck and sometimes paralyzed at what can be done because we are mulling it over so much, analysis paralysis. So having someone that can kind of give you the jolt to get you unstuck is quite useful. So seek support, a network supporting you in your journey. And another thing that's very, very important is to practice mindfulness. So by being mindful of what we have and having a positive perspective instead of focusing on what could be afraid of, what we might be leaving, just be mindful of what you can do, what you have control over. There are things that we have no control of. So for those things that we do not have any control, let's see how we can manage them, how we go through them and accept them and how we mitigate it. It's out of your control. For example, we talk about job certainty, security, you being you getting laid off. It's out of your control. It's happening. Your reaction to the situation is what's important. Focusing on the fact that you're being laid off will paralyze you and take you to a road of despair, maybe. Versus if you have a positive mindset and you're mindful about what you can control, you will focus on what you can control and what you can do to mitigate the situation. So we recap. So today talked about 9 points to help you navigate and overcome and navigate through the job uncertainty, whether it is happening now or it's a event that could come further down the road, but you are anticipating that this could happen to you. This is something, these are 9 pointer, 8 pointers that will help you be ready so you can focus on getting to the next step and not be bogged down by the fact that you have to find other employment and feeling defeated. You have more control because you will have uh, a plan on what step you will need to take to overcome the situation and move on. So the first thing is to assess your current financial and career situation. Two, develop a growth mindset versus over the fear that you might feel. Third, invest on lifelong learning. Four, seek professional advice, financial advice, career advice. Five, diversify your sources of income. Think of having a side gig, for example. Six, leverage your experience, all the experience that you have accumulated over the years, whether it's in your professional or volunteer work. Seven, build a network of support. Build your support network. And eight, practice mindfulness. Know what you have control of and what you do not have control of. On this note, have a great rest of your day, and I will see you at the next episode. In the meantime, I'll ask you to like, share, uh, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Yannick Sid. Bye.